I think part of being a good public speaker is knowing when humor is appropriate and when humor is not appropriate. And right now, I think that humor is not appropriate because Joel said it, I think, better than any of us could. And having the guts to stand here and talk about Beth Shalom as a family is why I think all of us love and admire him as much as we do and wish him well. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the reasons I do this dinner every year, and hope to be able to do it every year, because I get to do this every year. I get to move the microphone up because I'm about to introduce a man who is very tall, but he's also very big. And he's big in his heart, he's big in his spirit, he's big in his strength, and he's big in his leadership. And he's my biggest friend. I don't have the microphone on. No one has ever told me they can't hear me. So I will speak up and hopefully we'll be able to get it back when Rabbi Hain gets up here, but no one has ever told him they couldn't hear him either. And you will hear us both. But it's my honor and privilege to introduce a friend to all of us, a special friend to our family, the leader of Beth Shalom, our Rabbi Kenneth Hain. Thank you. Pretend it's Shabbos.
That joke backfired.
Jeremy Lynn Hain. Thanks. Thank you, Ben. Thank you, Joel. And Lester. Thank you all for being here tonight. It's a beautiful, extraordinary, and heartfelt evening in the history of our shul. It's a great pleasure for me to be at my 24th annual dinner at Congregation Beth Shalom. And it doesn't get boring. It actually feels wonderful because with us tonight is our history as well as our future. And the one thing I think it's important for us to remember tonight is that we dare not take Congregation Beth Shalom for granted. This is an important place in this community and in the Jewish world. And thanks to you, it will continue to be. We are blessed remarkably with great leadership in our shul, and we have been for many years. Take a look at that plaque out there tonight. There are some wonderful names, wonderful leaders of our shul. And we're continually blessed. As has been mentioned, not just the courage, but also the vision of our President Joel Schiff, the indefatigable, ever-driving Chairman Avram Schreiber, all of our officers, our sisterhood leadership, our rabbinic leadership as well, Rabbi Open, Rabbi Ben Nun, Rabbi Garrett, Rabbi Skydell, all of them. And all of it accompanied by the sweet, sweet voices of Chazan Joel Kaplan and his assistant Ariel Bikor. So I'm a very fortunate man to be able to enjoy the efforts of all the great people who work with us. And I'm looking directly at my good friends, Michael Novick, Richie Olmedo, Chaya Miller, who day in and day out keep this place running beautifully, and I thank them. We have, over the years, had wonderful leadership. Leadership that didn't need to be asked, but simply stepped up. The efforts of our awardees, Chacham Lev, are those that had the vision to recognize that our shul could be enhanced and beautified by making sure that it was done thoughtfully and in measured terms. And I have to say, when we look at the work that Helen Friedman, that Barry Gurvich, and that Neil Ostroff did, it was because they fully recognized that it wasn't simply about doing a construction job. It was because they recognized that it was a shul they were refurbishing. Our tradition tells us that normally chachma, wisdom, comes from the mind. But when it comes to creating a sanctuary, a holy site, it comes from the heart. Therefore, when the Torah refers to the building of the holiest of places, it requires chacham, wisdom, lev, from the heart. And I believe that means that to be a chacham lev, one has to recognize that one is operating in a setting that requires restraint as well as generosity. Giving of yourself, but with limits. And truly, our honorees, Helen, Barry, and Neil, understood. They fully got it. And they were helped by others, particularly their families, their spouses, who gave them, I know, good advice. And I mean Manis and Suzanne and Michelle and their families. But they had a singular purpose that enabled them to recognize that this holy work was to be done, and it had to be done well. Thanks to them, we have a more beautiful shul, a more enduring sanctuary, and a place where we will continue to celebrate, God willing, for many, many, many years to come. We thank you. I'm going to ask Helen and Barry and Neil, if you would, to please come forward to be presented some small tokens of our appreciation. Presented to Helen Friedman, Chacham Lev Award, 60th Annual Dinner, Congregation Beth Shalom, and it is a tzedakah box designed to recall Kever Rachel. The same to presented to Barry Gurvich, Chacham Lev Award. Thank you. And a tzedakah box recalling the shtetl. They mean Brooklyn. To Neil Ostroff.